What's up, Forge family? Today we are going to start the Forge Fundamentals series. In this first video, we're going to talk about the quadruped position. And you're probably wondering, what the heck's the quadruped position? Now, quadruped is simply being on your hands and knees. Now, the quadruped position sounds, they're like, well, of course I can get on my hands and knees. Like, what's the big deal of that? But it's a position that you actually develop as a child during the developmental cycle of 1 year. And it's not taught to you. It's pre-programmed in your brain. And over the course of lifespan, we start to make adaptations to different work scenarios. You know, whether we're exercising in a certain way or, you know, we have a desk job, our bodies adapt certain ways and our spines adapt in certain ways based on whatever life throws at us. So getting back into these foundational positions are incredibly important to address any potential asymmetries or any kind of position that you might find that you might have issues with. It's not to overcomplicate certain positions, but it's to change the amount of input that goes into your brain. And eventually, you know, you end up being a better athlete and you have a better understanding of your body. Today, we're gonna deep dive into the quadruped and talk about a little bit of a checklist of things that I look for all the way from the feet to your head and ways that you can implement different types of injuries. And the quadruped position can actually be helpful for addressing all injuries from literally your neck down to your feet. Now, the quadruped position is not incredibly fancy, and all it simply means is that you have 4 points of contact in the ground. So the primary contacts are your hands and your knees. So if you're gonna get into the hands and knees position, what you're looking for here is to make sure that you're creating almost like a box. And your box is gonna be the 2 hands that are directly underneath the shoulder, and then your knees are directly underneath your hips. And that's gonna give you your foundational position so you're loading everything appropriately. Now, if we're gonna do a little bit of a checklist from the head down, you wanna focus on your neck position. You wanna make sure that your chin is active, meaning your chin is pointed downwards towards your hands and away from the floor. Now, if you notice when I did that, kind of automatically, because I practiced this, is my shoulder blades got more active as well. We don't want our shoulder blades to sag. We want to push into the floor and push our shoulder blades right to left and our chin be active. So in this position right here, if we're just focusing on this is actually an exercise or a movement that I would give to somebody who has neck or shoulder pain. It's a way to load those structures and practice muscles that maybe you don't get as much time working on. So that's the upper quarter. Then we start to talk about the thoracic spine and the lumbar spine to top off the rest of the spine position. What you're looking for is to make sure that your thoracic spine is not like a pissed off cat and you're not sagging as well. So you're looking for a straight spine position between the neck all the way down to the pelvis. So we're gonna get active, chin tuck, shoulder blades pushed away, find too much flexion, too much extension, and find something in the middle. When I have this here, I can feel that my abdominals are already kind of kicked on and I'm not twerking, although that comes later. And I'm in this position and I'm locked in, I'm really good. So that's the rest of the spine position. As far as the hip position is concerned, as I mentioned before, you want your knees to be directly beneath the hips, almost in a straight line. And you're gonna make like 90-degree angles everywhere you are. Traditionally for jiu-jitsu and other positions, I have the knees just slightly outside the feet as far as external rotation. So what I'm talking about here is making sure that our knees are just outside the toes, as opposed to being too close here. So you almost have like a frog-leg position. Once I'm in that position, I'm slightly biased towards external rotation, and this puts me in a good position to perform the quadruped rock back. And the quadruped rock back is actually something I use for an assessment to work on for squats, and it's also something that we need to do for jiu-jitsu all the time. So being able to rock back, and I get to kind of see where the spine position is. Can you maintain a good spine position and maintain that neutral spine all the way throughout the full motion? Depending on your intent for this movement, it could be a shoulder exercise, it could be a motor control exercise for the spine, it could just be simply just a stretch. It could be a mobility exercise. You're looking at, hey, let's see if I can get my shoulders above my head and really stretch things out. You may notice that, when you lift your arms above your head, you might extend your neck too much. And by holding that neck position, it's actually really challenging for you. And when you rock back, you get this really awesome stretch through your thoracic spine. Everybody's talking about how their T-spine's always stiff. This is a great movement for that. I hope this movement gave you guys a little bit of insight into how you can take one position and apply it to many different domains, many different sports, many different movement strategies. And it may not seem like this very sexy position, but there's a lot that can be gleaned from it to help you guys perform better as athletes and keep you more pain-free. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys want to see in future videos. And I hope you enjoyed the Forge Fundamentals video series, and we'll see you for part 2.